Guys, thank you so much for doing a testimonial with me today. I really, really appreciate your time. Just start out by telling our audience here kind of who you are and what you do and your job titles at Saxon.
Yes, so we're the communications team and I'm the communications and partnerships manager at Saxon Air. Saxon Air as a whole connects people to places, and I think we encompass that in so many different ways, whether that be flight training, our aircraft maintenance, our charter business, which is jet, helicopter.
We work with a lot of partners. Again, we're global but local.
Yeah.
So we make sure that we, optimize the partnerships that we have in Norfolk.
So it's safe to say you guys are extremely busy.
All
so
the
that
time.
leads me on to my next point, which is kind of what led you to, I guess, choosing to go with Reeve Social Media? What was the perhaps challenge beforehand?
I think we're at a point in our business where we're so rapidly evolving. We have so many moving parts. And I think it just came at a really natural time to have kind of a fresh perspective and have that vision of outside looking into the company. And almost kind of starting again and thinking, right, well, let's regroup, let's refocus and start from the beginning. What do we need to change? What do we need to adapt? And take it from there.
We were at a point in the business where we were adding a lot of aspects of the business. There was the flight training bit that was growing. We were adding a lot of aircrafts also into the business, and we wanted to get a fresh perspective. How do we push this out? What strategy do we come with? And that led us to having an interaction with you. And honestly, it felt like you got the idea, you got what we wanted to do, and we decided to go ahead with it.
Good. Yeah, it's great to hear.
And I think from the initial interaction I had with you, I instantly felt that click, and it just naturally. You just know when you know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and I think you just understood us from the get-go, and that really helped in the decision-making process.
That's great to hear. Thank you. I appreciate that. So guys, let's talk about now, once we've signed on the dotted line, you've agreed to work with us, we're so grateful, it's amazing. What's the onboarding process been like for you? Just tell our audience a little bit about that process with us.
Of course. I think it's been really natural. I'd say seamless as well. You picked up quite quickly the different parts of the business, the different areas we have, but also kind of where we're hoping to go. And that led into, as you said, like the strategy side of things. So for me, I really enjoyed the onboarding process, and it's actually quite nice for us as well to explain who we are as a business to someone completely new, and it felt like fresh blank canvas.
No one's ever said they've enjoyed it before.
Oh no, I have. Yeah.
Well, that's lovely. Thank you. No, do you know what I mean though? Because onboarding typically is there's a lot to get through, right?
I get that.
There's the strategy documentation. There's logins, passwords. Hearing where you guys are at and where you want to go. There's a lot. So the fact that you enjoyed it is great to hear.
To be fair, it also helped us as well. So we were at the point where we were deciding, we had to change a lot of our touch points. We had to change our website as well, for example. So we were at that point where we were gathering a lot of information from the businesses, and it was new information, relevant, current information. So you coming in at that point, it really helped us to translate it to someone from outside. And the onboarding process since then has pretty much been seamless.
Well, I think with yourself, we feel really grateful that we can just at a click of a button message you. We have that open line of communication, and you're also very rapid in replying, which helps us because even though you're not in the building, we are so open line with you, and it's every day works well for us, so we enjoy that. And also the whole content process, it feels really like a structure, because sometimes I think that can incidentally get stressful, but I've never felt that with you. So we feel like we're all on the same page, singing off the same hymn sheet.
We're WhatsApping a lot, aren't we?
We are indeed.
Too many WhatsApps, or is it fine?
No, I love
good
our
level of
group chat.
WhatsApps. Okay, fine, good. You have to be quick, right? Social media is about being proactive and being organised and building campaigns, but you guys have to have the ability of, picking up the phone or voice noting me on the go, just flinging stuff at me, right? So I guess that's something that's benefited you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Because as you said much earlier, the pitch and ditch thing, where you get the client and then you just hand it over to someone else. That wasn't the case here.
No, not at all.
We've been, working with you every day, on our strategy, on what to do, how to, some feedback that we get, because, again, you're out there, you've done, you do this for a lot of people. So it's we get from your experience, so we learn from you sometimes as well on what to do and how to do it. So there's a lot of, good aspects to the new partnership, and hope to keep seeing more of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just moving on now to the impact. So since we've started working together throughout those kind of maybe first couple of months and now to where we are today, what kind of impact have we seen, starting with you, Letty?
I think, so for us internally, we've got a really good process going on. We know when we have our certain points of the month where we're going to, do our internal meeting, and then we translate that to you. So that works really well. And I think the benefit in terms of from a business sense, we can see that there's a much more visibility for each moving part of the business. I think you've really ticked that. But also having in mind, which is one of the things I really enjoy working with you, is kind of that customer psychology part, and you will challenge us and say, well, actually, let's think of this and think of that, which then refocuses how we see things. So we enjoy that challenge, and having a fresh take on posts in general, it works.
Because you don't want just someone just saying, yes,
No.
of course, 3 bags full, sir.
Yeah.
Because if it's wrong, or it's not right, or I can see gaps that you can't, you want someone
like to
maybe
know.
that will
Yeah,
challenge you, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
So
so it's good.
Yeah, we exactly like to know what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right, the impact of what we're doing. For example, going across different touch points with different approaches and understanding which works right. That's something that you've been helping us do, which is honestly really great. Thinking about the workshops and how to use particular social media platforms, not just for ourselves but for the internal team as well. That is also something that we've gotten from you and learned from your experience. So it is great. Yeah.
You're empowering.
Oh, wow, thanks very much. I'll take that. Would you recommend Reeve Social Media to other people in your
Yes.
network, other local businesses?
Yeah, no, definitely. And to be honest, I've actually started doing that already.
Oh,
so
thanks. You haven't told me that. Thank you.
Surprise.
Now you know.
No, I have though, and because I sing your praises, and I think we can see how much you've benefited us since working with us, and how we go from strength to strength as well. So I think we only become stronger in what we build together and learning each other even more and what the business has and how we evolve. It all just goes hand in hand.
So since you guys have outsourced your social media content, I'm fascinated to know, I'm assuming it's not just kind of scrolling on apps and games. Like, what else have you managed to
We wish.
do in your roles now?
I think because we are essentially a team of 2 in the building, and responsible for every single department's communication, requests, public relations stories that are happening, and partnerships as well. They're all really time exhaustive things in their own right. So actually having the ability to know that the social media element is being taken care of and we know that it's in safe hands, really allows us to then focus on the more strategic level things and actually be present in a room when we are having to have valid discussions about business development.
I think that's a really good point, Letty, actually, because, and I'm sure you would agree, Anibi, it's like you can now spend more time getting more out of your team
Precisely,
rather than getting sucked into each of the social platforms, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it helps us see the businesses, the different departments from a bit more high level, and then because of that, we know the kind of information we want to push out there. You're handling the audience, how to get it out to the audience, and we are like taking our time to actually extract it from the department. So it gives us more time, to tailor some of those kind of information to you and just push it to you. So,
And I think it also means that social media isn't an afterthought, it's what we lead with. And I think there's a real difference in that. So that's where we can see the impact.
I might use that line. That's a good line.
Take
Social
it.
media being an afterthought. Thank you very much. I like that. Guys, I'm really interested to know what lessons have you learned along the way through working Reeve Social Media? I know, I'm not a head teacher or a school teacher as such, but I'm really intrigued to know what you've learned along the way as well.
Yeah, I think it goes back to that whole knowledge exchange. Obviously, we have awareness and understanding of, different social media platforms, but I think for us where working with you helps is you give us more of a deeper insight of what's going to resonate with individual platforms and their audiences, and actually getting the best out of all of them individually, and also helping them work integrated as well. And I think that's the bit where historically we haven't actually made a tailored fit for each platform. We've kind of done as a one size fits all, and that doesn't always work. So I think, that's been a real lesson for us.
Would you concur, Anibi, or
Oh
do you?
yeah, definitely. I mean, when we started and you give a lot of dimensions of weight and height and all of this, so that, again, tailoring it to each of the platforms and making sure that, we optimize each of the platforms, to the best of our ability. So that was a really good learning point, as well. There's also the bit about, being more team focused, pushing the fact that our team is doing this, not just Saxon as an entity, but people in Saxon are doing this. That's also a good learning point that we have
It's a refreshing take. Yeah.
Love to hear that. Guys, thank you so much for sitting down. I know you don't like doing video content.
Not really.
I'm getting there with you. I'm getting there with you. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you jumping on camera today and sharing your thoughts, feelings, reflections on our business and process. And thank you so much for your time. And long may the success of Saxon Air continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.